press conference yesterday, telling each other to shut up in the middle of the press. Unbelievable what's happening there. Jalen Hurts, Eagles quarterback, spoke to the media yesterday and was asked about the Eagles' identity right now.
We've just got to settle in an identity. I think that's more important. Settle in an identity, commit to it, and then we fine-tune those things, knowing that there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, but we're all confident in what we're doing, we're all confident in the direction we're going in, on the structure that's in place to do that, and then we go out there and play.
And that identity change from game to game?
Well, I'd say the identity has changed from game to game, and that's not a problem when you win. So, is that fair to say?
But like, what should that identity be? You're the quarterback, you get involved every time. What would you like that identity to be?
The identity needs to be something everybody's in alignment in. So it's not a matter of how it looks. I don't care how it looks. I don't care who does it. It's like for it to get done.
Go ahead.
I love this guy.
It's funny that that's your takeaway, that you love what he's saying, and I respect what Jalen Hurts is telling us. He's being honest. But settle into an identity. It's week 13. It's week 13.
I say that only because I think we need to treat them like we should treat them, which is football starts after Thanksgiving for great teams. They're a great team. They've been a great team for 4 or 5 years now.
Absolutely.
And so if we're going to say that, we've said that about Kansas City, we've said that about New England prior, like football starts for great teams at or after Thanksgiving. So Friday, they literally play the day after Thanksgiving. So I understand what you're saying about what it's week 13. You have really smart people on that offense, and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon. I said what I said for a reason. Not just great players, smart people and smart players that understand the sport. How can you not figure that out? I get it, but they're great. So after Thanksgiving is when you start to work.
CC?
Yeah, I'm concerned.
Okay, I thought so.
I'm concerned. And here's what I'm seeing when I watch the Philadelphia Eagles. The same thing that they've always done under Nick Sirianni, which is a lot of inside zone run with Saquon out of shotgun, sprinkling a little bit of quarterback design run, and not much else. They did dabble in a little bit of counter in the second half of that game against the Dallas Cowboys, but I thought that's because they sensed the game was starting to slip away. But here's my issue with the Philadelphia Eagles. You haven't adjusted to the counter punches that other teams are throwing at you to slow down your run game. Last year, the Philadelphia Eagles had 2,500 yards rushing out of shotgun. 2,500 yards rushing. You gotta know, coming into 2025, the year after you win a championship, that other teams around the NFL have film, they got projectors, they're watching it and trying to figure out how to slow your run game down. And what we saw from the Dallas Cowboys was the perfect storm. They got the personnel, they got the schematics, the X's and O's down, and they gave the Eagles offensive line and their run game fits. And I would anticipate, because this is a copycat league, that a lot of other teams are going to try to do similar things to what the Dallas Cowboys defensive front did. They're going to change it up when it comes to their alignment before the snap of the ball. They're going to major in some of the stunts, the movements that we saw the Dallas Cowboys defensive front use, and they're going to try to slow the Eagles' run game down the same way. And until the Eagles can get right with being able to run the football, that offense is going to continue to be uneven. They are a run-first team. When you start talking about the identity of the Philadelphia Eagles, that's who they are. They major in running the football. This year, the Philadelphia Eagles are 28th in pass attempts. Last year, the Philadelphia Eagles were dead last in pass attempts. The year before that, the Philadelphia Eagles 21st in pass attempts. 2022, the Philadelphia Eagles 23rd in pass attempts. Under Nick Sirianni, they don't want to throw the ball. They want to run the football. But your running game is going to be inconsistent if you continue to do the same things and not necessarily get the productivity that you had in the past. And I get it. Because you've had success, you're reticent to change, but you've got to continue to try to improve. Coach Parcells used to say this all the time. Either you're getting better or you're getting worse. You never stay the same. It's hard to look at this year's Philadelphia Eagles and say they're getting better from the team they were last year.
Let's take a step back for 1 second. can you help us, for all of us, define what identity means in football? Not as it pertains to the Philadelphia Eagles, but when someone says we need an identity, by definition for football, what does that mean?
How are we going to win games every single week?
Doing the same thing. Like if we have to do the same thing every time, what are we best at?
What are we going to do to win football games? If I asked you the identity of the 90s Cowboys, what would you tell me?
The triplets is what I would say. Maybe I'm wrong to think that.
No, it'd be the triplets, but
Dominant offensive line?
It'd be Emmitt Smith in the offensive line. Okay. It'd be the bang eight with Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman. Like that's who the Dallas Cowboys were in the 90s. If I asked you, what about the 80s San Francisco 49ers? It's Joe Montana. It's West Coast offense. It's Roger Craig, 1,000 and 1,000. That's the identity of the team. That's how they want to try to win games every single week. The Philadelphia Eagles in 2025 don't have that. You knew what it was last year? They don't have that this year. And I think the big reason why is because they haven't made adjustments to the changes that other defenses have made around the league to try to stop them. When you win a championship, you are the bar to clear. Everybody is coming for you. You know, they always say you got a bullseye on your back. You go from being the hunters to the hunted. Well, that's the Philadelphia Eagles this year. And they have not adjusted well to being the hunted. And this is a team that hasn't made the adjustments from an X's and O's standpoint to put this immensely talented offense in position where those guys can be productive. And that's what A.J. Brown has been sounding off about. A.J. Brown has been the canary in the coal mine in a lot of ways. Say what you want about him being a leader, being a distraction, whatever. But A.J. Brown is voicing the concerns that everybody should have when you watch the Philadelphia Eagles on tape.
He's like, they figured it. They figured us out. Why aren't we making adjustments?
Exactly. And the coaches are saying, we're 8-3. Why should we change? Don't let your good get in the way of your great. It feels like that's what the coaching staff in Philadelphia is letting happen right now.
By the way, fascinating breakdown of Canary and Coal Mine in the latest Hoop Collective podcast with Brian Windhorst, Tim Bontemps, and Tim McMahon, where they literally broke down that phrase.
Yeah, that's what I got it.
Is that why you just said that?
Wow.
It was listening to them trying to figure out what that meant. I still don't know what that means, but I like your usage of it. Canary and Coal Mine, shout out to the Hoop Collective podcast.
Isn't it because a bird in that type of environment, if they made noise, it would echo and sound the alarm?
If that's the case, that's not how they described it. They described it because of the chemicals, the bird dying.
The bird dies quicker, and so that tells you got to get out of it.
But I thought canary in the coal mine meant sounding the alarm.
Well, the bird is going to start making noise before it croaks.
That would be the alarm.
That's the alarm.
The alarm is the bird is dead, get the hell out of the coal.
Correct.
That's what the alarm
That's how they described
The
it.
bird is dead.
Yeah, the bird dies.
Oh, see, I thought it was just a beautiful bird squawking. Like
No, it's a murder.
Yeah, it's
Well, the Eagles better make some adjustments, okay?